Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Chapeau Claudette, aka Cloudette, because I love clouds and looking up on the bright side of life and to the sky, the heavens above. And yes, I'm here wanting to share with you the mathematical and astronomical reality of as above and so below. And it is going to be in a few hours, maybe about 4 hours, that our sun is going to be opposite the moon, and it will be 180 degrees exactly across from each other, which is really important because that's when the magic of the maths happen. And when you hit something exact, that is a result like in maths. There's no something next to it. 1 + 1 is 2, that's it. It's not 2.1. And so we are looking at an energy that the sun is in. It's in the energy of the Virgin. It is in the energy where there's a black hole that was discovered. It is in the energy of Spica, which is one of the largest stars in the sky, much larger than our day star. This star is the ear of the harvest, meaning the bringer and the giver and the, rewards of good fortune. And Virgo is an energy, it's the biggest constellation that we have in our path that we can see from our pale blue dot. And because it is, we spend a lot of time, the sun spends a lot of time showing us things in this part of the sky that is connected with virginness, pureness, trying to strive to make the perfect example of what can be realized. Because this is an earth sign and I talk in terms of elementary energy. So when I talk about Virgo, it's about the harvest. It's about some earth, what earth can materialize. And even though earth is on the scale, the basics of elements, it is where we start. It's where we build our roots. And for the roots to grow, all the other things have to be done to make that happen. The soil has to be right, has to be the amount of water, all the input that you can see, that you can hold with your hands and feel with your hands, has to be solidified for things to grow. And the sun is there to put a spotlight on that. And it comes like a journey after Leo, which is the creativity, which is the fire, the inspiration, ideas to do this, and this, that happened 26 days ago when Leo left, and Leo before that. So say in, the September month, ideas starting, autumn. And I know this is different because this is astronomy, this is not astrology, so it's different time periods, but we are working with the alchemic energies of these heavenly bodies. And so the sun is shining a light on what can you do to materialize, to make things, ideas that you might have had in September happen for you now. And when this full moon comes, it's a present in a way because the sun is opposing our most personal radar satellite to the universe, and that is the moon. And the moon in this case is in Pisces. It's very strong in Pisces because, first of all, you have to think the moon has a gravitational pull on the water. It's always associated with water and the mother, La Luna, and moods and temperaments, which is emotion, motion. Water is in motion. It moves and it runs deep. So the origin of the moon is how it is pulling like the tides and where it is positioned like high tides. Now, opposite the sun, it's pulling out the real emotion. And emotion comes from, the deepest emotion actually comes from memory and from experience. And also what's important to know, it's not just your experience, it's your family's experience. It's the ancestral experience. It's the universe's experience. It's your country's experience. It's your neighbor's experience. It's your day-to-day experiences that the moon is connected with, and then it feels a way it does, or it needs to do something based on that. So in this position, it is in Pisces, which is a gift, like I said, because Pisces is that fish, is the most spiritual part, even, in religion, because it has the yin and yang, it has the two fish going in different direction. It's about the beginning in a way and the end of life, and knowing that there is, life in both, nothing ever dies. And so this is a really higher thinking of spirituality when you see Pisces. And when the Pisces is also water-based, but it's connected more to a deeper, like below the surface understanding. So I talked about the moon, which is like Cancer, and the experience in the moon and all of that, which is kind of on the upper base, what we can see, like say in a way like the sky, the moon, where the moon is like above, and the history and what you can see and the everyday thing. But the Pisces water memory energy is actually what is from below, what runs deep, the water that runs deep, the still water, the deepest part of the sea, the fact that, life is there, living and, striving and growing and evolving, without anything else but, the deepest water down there. And so it is something that we see as, like a present, because it is intuitive. And I say that because it comes in dreams. It comes to us like a present. It's not something that we think of. It's something that outside of us that comes to us and asks to be acknowledged. And so I want to share with you some affirmations that this full moon is bringing up, because it's a very good thing. And it's good because it's asking us first to pause and acknowledge the gifts that we have. And if things are going well for you and things are happening, you're getting gifts, to slow down and acknowledge those gifts and don't go too fast. And I have to say this experience because I made that yesterday, because we also have Mercury, which has come out of Virgo. It's now in Libra, but it will go back into Virgo. But on Friday, it entered the phase where the situation will be that of during Mercury retrograde. So we have to come from that space of it being in Virgo and now in Libra for just a bit of time before, when it goes back into Virgo, when it goes retrograde, takes a little bit of time. sometime in November. But now, what I'm talking about is that Mercury, the information, is now in Libra. And what I always say is that it's a journey. So if Virgo is the biggest constellation, that means that Venus has been there Mercury has been there for quite a while. And actually most of the planets are in Virgo now. Mars is there. The Sun is there. Venus left. But it was there before. So we have Mercury now in a place of Libra, which is the balance. And what they call is a reciprocal situation is when the kind of planet that's connected to a constellation zodiac energy is in exchanging places, and that is that now that Mercury has gone into Libra, it's in the place where actually Venus is happy, and Venus is actually in Virgo, which is the place that Mercury is happy. And that means it's kind of like there's a antenna between the two supporting each other. It's like an exchange program in a way, because Mercury knows the power of course, where it's at home in Virgo, and Venus knows the power of where it's at home in Libra, but it's not there now. It's actually in the sign of Mercury in Virgo. And so what I want to say is what's Venus bringing to the table is saying, okay, Mercury, you got all these plans. You're trying to put all this in place. Hi, Tina. Hello. I'm on a roll here. You're trying to put this all in place. But you've got all the information that's been happening in the Virgo, sorting and preparing for the harvest of Virgo. And now Mercury's left that momentarily because it will be going back because of the retrograde. But momentarily it's come into Libra, which is all about bringing harmony and balance. And it's so necessary for it to be here as it slows down, to remember why we do the things, to remember that we are seeking a balance that is about above and below. It's not about just doing things for the sake of doing them or being perfect for the sake of being perfect. It's about the journey. It's about bringing balance and bringing love and beauty in a way that is something that is, it's like harmony is beauty. Something's harmonic. It's beautiful because there's a balance to it. It's like if you see a really rich person next to somebody who's super poor, that's not balanced. That's not pretty, even though that car might be gorgeous. Yeah. If you see someone in distress and hungry and destitute next to it, that's not beauty. Yeah. So we need, and we are all next to each other. So this is to remind us how important it is to really look for a balance in life, in the things that we are striving for. And it's not just about us. And this is what I love about Skystrology, to remember it is about seeing how we are viewed in the sky, in the universe. We are viewed as one, not just one, your thing, like astrology. Oh, you're going to be rich here. Oh, you're going to get married here. It's not about you. It's about us. And so this full moon has, as usual, of course, I said the moon and the sun opposite, but we have Jupiter, and Jupiter is an amazing planet. It is giving more information what it does, but it's just a gas planet. And let me tell you, all these planets in reality are also part of our vision. like they're saying the life isn't real, it's a holographic universe. Same with the planets. But they are living beings. They're like cells. They are energy balls. If you look really close, I'm not going to get in conflict with what, they say they're going to go there. I don't know. But I know for our reality here on Earth, for us, when we look up, we see these stars, we see these energies, we see this light. Yeah. And Jupiter is one that has helium and energy that I learned soaks up a lot of the debris. Is protecting Earth, is protecting the solar system and taking away, because it's so big, its gravity in the middle is drawing all the dust and things that would make life difficult for other planets, and especially ours. So Jupiter, at this time of full moon, is going to be in a very good, called 120-degree try to the moon, which is in Pisces. And again, that's talking about, really deep needs, deep intuition. Make sure, go to sleep saying, if you have a problem, how can I solve this problem? Tell me in my dreams. The things that are outer worldly. This is like the big spiritual gift. Like, if you go to bed at Christmas time saying, I want this and this and this for Christmas, go to bed tonight thinking about what you want to help you in your life, in your what gift would you like to have. And because Jupiter is giving presents, Jupiter is really positive, and it's then having an opportunity with the sun. So that means it's 60 degrees away from the sun. So it would say, okay, so the sun is in a earth place, so materialized. So it means that it's maybe a present that you would have to do a little bit of something for. You have to co-create this. Yeah, you might get the inspiration and the idea and the intuition from the moon, from the feeling, from the water, and that. But to implement it, you need just a little bit of movement from yourself, a little bit of help. It's not like all tra-la-la dream thing, but it is an opportunity that if you are aware of it, to do something that it will, benefit from you, and think positive. And the thing is, I've got so much to do, and I've been really blessed this last few days, but I needed to come on because I saw a lot of this Aries, Libra, stress energy about the full moon, and it's not. This is a magnificent full moon. It also has Gemini rising. When the rising Gemini, it's like a lot of talk, but Gemini talks a lot and asks questions and things like that. But it's not it's shouldn't distract you. It's not what's coming. It's what, in a way, you already know, because it's rising with the headless dragon, what they call K2. It's a node point, but it's what we are used to. Yeah, what we're used to hearing, blah, blah, blah. But that's what so interesting about the shift is the shift that we're talking about. Anybody talks about the change, the technology, everything, the reality of our lives now going into robotic and automation is leaving the old paradigm behind. And this is an opportunity to know that, talk, maybe war, talk about this, talk about that, knowing that these are old paradigms that need to be given less attention and need to be dealt with in a practical way, and not just excitable about or arguing about, but really need solutions to move away from the old way of dealing with things. And like that in the world is like that in life. And I'm talking to myself again. knowing I've got stuff to do. So, I think I didn't plan to be on here this long. Like I said, I do have to go. But I will have a podcast tomorrow on Monday, as I usually do, and I will elaborate on it. But it's good for the full moon is just to listen, pause, you're welcome, and to think, be grateful. Grateful for the present, grateful for the insight. It's like, I am grateful for this full moon because I know that the deepest memories are guiding me and are being blessed with Jupiter that makes sure that it's benevolent, that makes sure that good is coming. And all I have to do is slow down to appreciate it. So when I do act, I am acting in a productive way that will manifest something close to the idea that I have in my mind that I want. And that's that affirmation. Maybe I have to listen to it to write it down. But this is what's happening. So I thank you all for listening. My replay viewers, thank you, Tina, for being here live. I hope you are well. And I will be putting this on, if it's not too long, well, I'll put it on the Instagram TV so you can listen to it again. Okay, lots of love from me. Thanks so much, and have a amazing full moon. Remember to pause. Don't listen to the TV. Look at this. You can look at the moon if you can see it. Know that it's in the constellation of Pisces. Know that it's in the water energy, and the Pisces is really intuitive. It's the fish that goes down really deep and can come up and breathe air and go down again. You know, still waters run deep, and any water, you know, the fish, or, you know, like kind of say the origins of life, you know, the beginnings of life. And this is how we breathe. This is how we go. We are like fish. When I was writing today, my course, like we leave the sac, the womb in water, and we are birth and come, and then we breathe air. Yeah, but we're not lucky fish. We don't get to go back into water. That's why it's good to breathe. We have to learn how to breathe and live on this plane. And that's why when we have these dreams or these gifts that are Piscean, they are about, you know, the memory, the ancestors, the history of world, life, what's come before, what do we know, and how that will help us mold and create what we want. That is an education, that is like, oh, I got an idea, or I know something now that makes sense to me now, and now you can appreciate that is gifted to you, and then go forth and make a move. And I tell you, yeah, that speaks volumes to me. I hope it speaks volumes to you. Lots of love, and thanks for listening. I'm out. Bye. Thank you.